Muggles, Hagrid here. Welcome to the wonderful world of words. Tonight's story is Mrs. Piggle Wiggle's Won't Take a Bath Cure. This might be a useful book. Let's get started. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle lives here in our town. She has brown, sparkly eyes and long brown hair, which she usually wears in a knot on top of her head. She has a dog called Wag and a cat called Lightfoot, and she lives in an upside-down house. All the children love Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, and Mrs. Piggle Wiggle loves them. She is always ready to stop whatever she is doing and have a tea party, and she is glad to have children dig worms in her petunia bed. In fact, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle just naturally understands children, which is of course why all the parents call Mrs. Piggle Wiggle whenever their children are being difficult. Oh, I'm sure that's none of you though. Mrs. Piggle Wiggle always knows exactly what to do to help cure children's bad habits, like not taking a bath, which is Patsy Brown's bad habit. There's something Patsy and I have in common. I feel you, girl. Up to the time of this story, Patsy was just an everyday girl, but one morning, Patsy's mother filled the bathtub with nice warm water and called to Patsy to come take her bath. But when Patsy saw the nice warm tub of water, she began to scream and yell and kick and howl like a wild animal. I know all about wild animals. I'm the gamekeeper after all. Naturally, her mother was quite surprised to see her little girl acting so peculiar. But she just said, "Now, Patsy, stop all this nonsense and hop into the tub." Patsy ran from the bathroom yelling, "I won't take a bath. I won't ever take a bath. I hate baths. I hate baths. I hate baths." That's pretty extreme hate for baths. Patsy's mother let the water out of the tub and went downstairs to telephone Mrs. Piggle Wiggle. She said, "Hello, Mrs. Piggle Wiggle. This is Patsy's mother, and I am having such a time this morning. Patsy simply will not take a bath." Mrs. Piggle Wiggle said, "I would say the radish cure is probably the quickest and most lasting. All you have to do is buy one package of radish seeds. Then let Patsy alone as far as washing is concerned. When she has about half an inch of rich black dirt all over her, scatter radish seeds on her arm and head. Press them in gently, and then just wait." The next morning, Patsy's mother didn't say one single word to Patsy about a bath, and so Patsy was sweet and didn't act like a wild animal. The next day was the same. And so was the next. Patsy looks like she's getting a beard. Not as good as mine, of course. When Sunday came, Patsy was a rather dark blackish gray color, so her mother suggested that she stay home from Sunday school. At the end of the third week, Patsy skipped out to get the mail, and the postman, on seeing her straggly, uncombed, dust-caked hair and the layer of dirt on her face, neck, and arms, gave a terrified yell and fell off the porch. I have that reaction on people sometimes, too, when they look at me. Patsy's parents decided to keep Patsy indoors all the time after that, but Patsy seemed quite happy. Of course, it was getting hard to tell how she felt as her face was so caked with dirt that she couldn't smile, and she talked, "Okay, yes, I am Patsy, and I won't take a bath." She also had to take little teeny bites of food because she couldn't open her mouth more than a crack. At last the day came when Patsy was ready to plant. That night when she was asleep, her mother and father tiptoed into her room and very gently pressed radish seeds into the dirt on her forehead, her arms, and the backs of her hands. Some days later, Patsy woke up one morning, and there on the backs of her hands and on her arms and on her forehead were green leaves. She jumped out of bed and ran down the stairs to the dining room where her mother and father were eating breakfast. "Look! Look at my hands!" she squeaked. Her mother went over to Patsy, took a firm hold of one of the plants on her forehead, and gave it a quick pull. Patsy squeaked again, and her mother showed her the little red radish she had pulled. That looks like dessert to me. Patsy suddenly said, "Other, I want a ass." "What did you say, dear?" asked her mother, busily pulling the radishes and putting them in neat little piles on the dining room table. "I want the ass," said Patsy so plainly that it cracked the mud off her left cheek. Patsy's mother said, "I think it had better be a shower." And without another word, she went upstairs and turned on the warm water. Patsy was in the shower all that day. She used up 2 whole bars of soap, and she didn't even come out for lunch. But when her father came home for dinner, there she was, waiting for him at the door, clean and smiling, and in her hand she had a plate of little red radishes. All right, boys and girls, time to chat with your parents. Did you like that book? What parts did you like? If you didn't like it, why not? And see what theme you can figure out from that story. What lesson can we learn? All right, so have a good night, everybody. Don't let the creatures bite, and stay magical.